Hey everyone, we have here the Rubik's Touch Cube. It's been in the media now for about a year, and around the time of the World's '09, it was actually released. So, this is the most recent product licensed by the Rubik's Incorporated, or otherwise known as the Rubik's brand. The original ones. And, yeah, so this is just a basic unboxing. So let's just start out. First, the packaging of this product is perhaps the most aesthetic I've seen in a while. It has fairly funny warnings on it, I think. The bottom is also particularly interesting. I hope you can read that. Little facts right here, particularly. So that's it. Let's grab a knife and open it up. And instruction manuals wrapped in plastic just in case of something, I don't know. If we take off this foam, padding it, we have the actual Rubik's Touch Cube, which doesn't look like much, I guess, when it's not turned on. It too is wrapped in plastic. Wow. So we'll get back to that later. There's still stuff in the box. Takes up only about half the box. Let's see here. More and more foam. Weird foam triangle. So, let's see. It has a charger. Pretty basic power cord that goes somewhere into it. Oh, I don't see where right now. A stand. Which, actually, it looks like it charges through the stand, giving these two leads here that go into it somehow. If we look on the cube, mind you, it's just the shape cube. Oop. I just turned it on accident. No idea how to turn this off now. Well, I guess we'll just get to the cube then. It looks like it comes charged from the package. So, let's take a look at this. Let's clear everything off here first. So this is the Rubik's Touch Cube. I don't know. So I'm going to have to play with this for a while. Alright, so I've been playing with it for about 15 minutes now. It's off right now. And we're just going to go through some of the basic stuff, and then I'll show you a solve and some interesting things that I discovered. So, of course, we have the power button. It's just your regular power symbol. S is for scramble. This is the hint mode, and we'll see that in a sec. These will be demoed. This is the volume. Undo button. And this is the solve button, which is just a 3x3 grid of squares. Alright, so these do have speakers in them, and it makes little noises every time you turn it, with a clicking noise. Whenever you solve it, already it doesn't have any ridges on it, except it's just simply a perfect cube. There's nothing on here that, of course, catches the finger. I wouldn't even think that these are buttons in the center. Whoops. Okay, it's checkerboard pattern. Whoa. So let's just do a quick solve, basically, and I'll show some of the things. So to scramble it, we go to the S. Make sure it's facing up. One thing is, the only side you can touch is the side that's facing up. My intuition goes, oh hey, let's do a U-turn, and I go like this. And I would expect that could be a pretty simple function. Alternatively, you swipe this diagonal bit here, and it doesn't always register. There we go. So, where's the S? So you double tap it, makes a little noise, and it solves it. It scrambles 40 moves. I don't know if it's optimal or whatever, it just scrambles it doing 40 moves. And then we're going to turn off some lights for this, just to get the full effect. Okay, so, let's do this. So, It may be hard to tell, but I have a slot right here that's ready to go into the orange, white, green area here. And we're just going to see what the hint does. What I would do is I would do right here facing you would be U prime and then L prime UL. So where's the hint button? It's the question mark. So of course the thing about the buttons is that they too, like the faces, have to be facing up to be active. So if you want a hint or you have to undo, then you have to go to that side, make it face up, and then double tap it. That's interesting. So it looks like what the cube has, and I already found this, or I've kind of been sensing this, is that it's using the beginner's method. And what it's suggesting is that I insert the corner first. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to insert the whole slot. Contrary to its suggestion. Oh, and I know this one. Show you something interesting about the PLL. So, of course, if we click the solve button, which is on this side, you know, the 3x3 grid has to be facing up. If it turns off for a second, I guess it analyzes it, turns back on, and does the beginner 3-cycle move, and it actually does it twice. That's interesting. What? Should have been solved that time. What? Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so you can clearly tell it just cheated there. That was a bug that you saw. I was not expecting it to do that. What it's doing is it's doing this algorithm. It's coming across this pattern, the U. And so what it does is it does the beginner version of it. It goes R2 and then match the color. But for some reason, and I have no idea why, it's turning it the wrong way. So instead of matching up, you're supposed to match up the color like that. It's turning it the wrong way, and so it's turning it this way. And, okay, just auto-off. That's good. It auto-offs. Hey, give it some credit. And it just goes in that cycle over and over again. So instead of turning it this way and solving it, it turns it this way, and then this way. And so that's what it was doing, I think. Again, it was really hard to kind of watch the moves. Now this is something interesting. I wasn't going to show you that specifically. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to show you. Let's see what it looks like when it's charging, because I hear that's kind of cool. Okay, so it's plugged in, and I guess... It's making noises, and it's doing moves, so it's very aesthetic actually. This would be kind of like a cool, like a, I don't know, lamp or something. It's very creative actually. So, what's there to say about this in the end? It's a toy. Rubik's can only make so many Rubik's cubes, and now they're kind of moving into the future, if you will. Again, it's just a toy. It's fun to play with, I'll admit. One thing, it's aesthetic. And we can at least appreciate that. Look, it just sits there and turns itself. I don't know what it's doing exactly, but it's just doing that. It does have bugs. So for version 2, I would want, of course, we already have all the touching ability on the top face, but also the first row. That'd make it a lot more intuitive, if you will. You don't have to turn it back and forth as much. And that's really all I think that's reasonable to request for the second version, if they make one, which, you know, they just might. But the verdict, if you have $50 and you want something extremely, extremely unique in your collection, then get it. It's cool to have around. It's definitely a conversation piece. If nothing less, it can just sit on your shelf and do this for eternity. I don't care. So, yeah. If you have one, tell me what you think of it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.